Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, last Friday when I tried to do this, there was a lot of chat that my mic was out, so I just upgraded. So apparently my old mic, was at end of life. So I basically upgraded over the weekend. So yay, I'm officially a podcaster. Hi, Tama, welcome to the new series Ask Toying. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to basically share the question that was submitted at toyinumesiri.com. You also can go ahead and submit your question. And this week, I'm actually going to do this series every single day. Yes, every single day because we have we've had some questions coming. Like tomorrow, I actually have a question that I have it here. But anyway, let me start with today's question. This is really going to be fun. So again, welcome, good afternoon, good evening to the Ask TOYIN series where I bring questions from our audience, our newsletter audience, and social media and email, and those questions coming from everywhere. So this is more trying to make like a back channel where I'm not just sharing, but you are also able to give feedback and submit your questions. So I hope you can hear me clearly. This is a new mic. So check. Can you? I'm feeling cool. Hi, Tama. Welcome. I really appreciate it. If you're watching live, please just say hello and let's get to it. So this question was sent in by Jill C. I tried to answer this again last week, but we had technical difficulties with the microphone, but I fixed that now. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. And she said, hello, Toyin. I often see your posts concerning trade in Africa. I think you are going in the wrong direction. The world is now pushing for less transportation of goods and global trading. Each country or continent needs to be self-sustaining. In Africa's case, the vision is for all African countries to become organized enough to trade with each other because most of the resources you need are there. Okay, I agree. um, if African countries stop selling land and resources to China and others and do an audit of their own countries, this including IT and other skills, they could be self-sustaining and then look to see if there's any item or product the African continent does not produce and trade with another continent or country then, at that time. This would reduce transport miles for goods, lessen pollution, and enhance the well-being of the African nations. I really think you should be looking at this vision for the future of African trade. And this is from Jill C. First of all, I want to thank you, Jill, for submitting this question. I really appreciate it. And everyone that has also submitted, I'll be getting to your questions, over the next few days, right? So in general, I do agree with her in terms of possibilities, in terms of intra-African trade, in terms of the direction of global trade. But here's what I would say. Africans, it's a great time to be African, and Africans get to decide, right? They get to decide what they want to do. I think that's really going to be the biggest shock of the next century is that, in previous times, people tend to, laud it and, oh, you should do this. This is how it is. You're going in the wrong direction. You're this, you're that. That time is over, right? That time in terms of being prescriptive to Africa and, most people saying, oh, this is what Africa should, that time is over, really. The game over on that one. What people need to understand now is that Africa and Africans are in the driver's seat of their destiny. And they're going to lead the future as they see fit. And they welcome global stakeholders that want to be a part of that future. I think that's the biggest shocker that the world will realize is that the same old is not going to work on the continent anymore. And the continent owes nobody any explanation, whether they're sleeping with China or Russia or whatever. Like, you need to just let that die down. However, what the continent is doing is definitely open to global partners that see them as equal and want to engage as such. That's the future of African trade, really, is that each country gets to decide, right? They have the autonomy to decide what they want to do. Now, I do teach and coach government officials as well and private sector. So I do understand the need to guide, to offer some type of advisory services to the continent. But at the end of the day, they get to drive, whether they drive them, I want to be careful here. Like they get to drive into their, into their future. And I see that the future is bright, right? So they get to drive the train. I think that's the first thing I want to say is that the rhetoric and the tone with which the world engages with the continent in terms of, oh, this is how you're this, that's hopefully that ends. That's not the way of the future. At least the leaders that I engage with, they are tired of that, right? They are tired of that, but they are definitely open. They are very, very open, extremely open to mutually beneficial engagement. So that's one. The second thing to talk about is within the context of trade, intra-African trade is rightly being prioritized. So trade within the African continent, with African countries trading with one another, because historically that's been low, 14, 15% low. Whereas African countries like Nigeria trades more with European countries than its neighbors, right? So intra-African trade is being prioritized. And when you think about what has happened under the AfCFTA, I think that's probably one of the most important policies, at least in my generation and the next couple of years, when it comes to advancing trade on the continent. So there's going to be rapid intra-African growth of intra-African trade. And I'm super excited to be playing a part in that. I'll share a video after this. But intra-African trade is being prioritized rightly. However, I do encourage diversification because global trade has not been fully captured yet. So what I mean by that is African country relations with United States, with Europe, with Canada. There are so much opportunities outside of Africa that my own encouragement is have a mixed basket, right? Diversify, prioritize intra-African trade, but don't lose sight of foreign trade in terms of exports into Europe, exports into US, or imports. I mean, that's what I would personally say is that, diversify. Prioritize intra-African trade, but realize that the technical skills, the technical competencies, some of the equipment, machinery, all of those things that Africa is seeking to industrialize itself and grow trade on the continent would likely come from outside of Africa, right? So again, prioritize intra-African trade, but always also, carry the international market, because basically from where I sit, that's really a game changer. US as an example only does less than 2% of its global trade basket with sub-Saharan countries. What it means is extractive, right? So you've not even scratched the surface of, US. You've not. So that's one of the things I try to encourage people to say. We are here, we're helping provide market linkages, training, export, all of this, because we see policies like AGOA, African Growth and Opportunity Act, sit on the books for more than 20 years, which says the US market is open to over 6,000 products coming in from sub-Saharan countries. However, the expertise, knowledge, and all of those things that is required to benefit from it, we are now bringing it to the surface, which is a business to business type of engagement. So again, one, the rhetoric in terms of being prescriptive to Africa, that needs to die away, but recognizing the leadership, whether in business or government, of African leaders, because a lot of them at the leading front, they are marching forward, and I'm happy to be, supporting them with expertise, with capacity building, with advisory services. That's really what we do, is more of support those at the leading front, but recognizing that they get to drive this train, right? This is Africa's time, and nobody should take that from them. In like the newsletter I just sent out today, right? Like the next $1 billion businesses will be built by Africans. Indians have done theirs, Chinese, they've done theirs, Vietnamese, Chile, everybody. Okay. Let me chill out. A lot of times people are like, "Toy, you're so excited. You're so." I'm like, if you're in the conversation, if you see the world through my lens and the engagements we do in bringing key stakeholders together, the people at the leading front, because if all you're doing is reading headlines or the newspaper, you're not going to read anything good, right? Just like here in the US, negative news sells newspaper, right? So if what you're doing about Africa is looking at what the media is saying, you're going to just keep doing that, right? But when you're engaging, like 3 weeks ago, I hosted the Trade with Africa Business Summit. I did once a year, bringing all the key stakeholders at the leading front. And I'll share with you a video of Ambassador Muchanga in 2019 when I had him over, and at our invitation coming, he came to Chicago, and at that time he started educating us about AFCFTA. He gave a keynote address which is available on our platform, Nazaru.trade. Let me show that website in case you want to dive deeper into that. It's Nazaru.trade. Or maybe I need to just type it out right now. Yes, www.nazaru.trade. So that's where we host Nazaru.trade right there. This is where we host our events, we host content, I do training, coaching programs here. It's like a one-stop shop, right? You get to connect, meet people. So basically, you can find over 50 videos of all our engagements from agriculture to manufacturing, automotive, all of those content is right there. You get to meet people also. I have a training coming up this July on export development as well. So anyway, go check that out. So as I was saying, basically, we are engaging with those at the front line, and we get to support them, and we get to provide advisory support and market linkages and connection. People say connection, maybe anyway. So the language around Africa should do this and that. That just we need to die that down. But if people want to offer their skills and services to the continent, so if you're a consultant or a salesperson or an agent or a distributor and you wish to engage commercially, definitely that's something we help and we support as well. So Africa again gets to decide its future. It's Africa's time, and we get to also support those at the leading front in making this happen. So from where I see, yes, diversification, yes, prioritize intra-African trade, but don't miss out on the opportunities of connecting and deepening trade relationships outside of Africa. So, for example, agriculture, manufacturing, that's what China had to do. India had to do it, making sure we connect the supply chain, right, across the continent and then with the rest of the world. So that's how I would really answer that. Yes, there are policies in place. Yes, but I really just, for me, I think we just have to honor the leaders, and if we want to serve them and if we want to support them, then let that's a conversation we're willing to have in terms of providing services and platforms and all of that to Africa, because that's really what we're about. When we say trade with Africa, what we're saying is that the direction the continent is moving, if you listen to the aspirations of the leaders, the business and political leaders on the continent, if you listen to exactly what they're trying to solve for, that actually unlocks commercial opportunities for those people with the right skill set, right technology, right platform, right all of that, right? To help Africans unlock what it is they're trying to do. That's the way I would describe it. Is that just listen, just listen. If you just pay attention, though not the new, I'm not saying headlines, not the flash headlines. Oh, this Ethiopia is this. I get it. But beneath the surface, you need to recognize it's the second largest, most populated country on the continent next to Nigeria. You need to look at the economics of it, not just the media splash. Anyway, so that's what I would say. I'm seeing here comments. John Cash says you would like to discuss success of HBCU, gaming education, what you're developing for your students. Absolutely. Yes, definitely reach out. In fact, in 2019, one of my TED Talks, we do like a 15-minute pitch for some of the leaders as well at my event. And one of them was really um, someone that came into the US through sports scholarship, and he continues to connect US and African countries by recruiting soccer talent from the continent into universities in the US. So what we do at Nazaru, we offer platforms, so platforms that immerses stakeholders in marketing sites, helping them to make connections, helping them to answer their questions, all of that. Again, go check out Trade. We also offer training because we believe that those who seek to engage, they have to do it with the right skill set and the right business mindset. One of the things I also try to describe is this idea that people get to understand the role they are playing in. And I break it into about 6 roles, maybe investor roles, exporter role, research role, importer role, service provider role, market facilitation, trade facilitation role. I try to, when people come to me, first of all is understanding what role are you playing, because your needs and the people you need to engage with and your needs, it varies. If you're a government official trying to do export promotion or investment promotion, what you need is different from a trade facilitator, right? Or an exporter that need market linkages, or an importer that wants to serve as a distributor for products coming in from the continent, or basically a journalist that just wants to cover what's going on, or a student. So that's one of the things we try to do. So I encourage you, reach out, let's evaluate what it is you're doing, and then we can definitely share how we can support. And every new member that joins the Trade, I get to meet them one-on-one, providing some type of coaching. Because I tell you, I see people going in all kinds of directions, burning energy and all of those things. Well, anyway, what we try to do is to make it a more streamlined process. So that's it for today. I'm about to show a video of His Excellency Ambassador Muchanga, where we awarded him Champion of Trade. His team was responsible for the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. In 2019, we invited him, he gave us a keynote address to explain what AFCFTA is and why they were unlocking it. And as you know, the AFCFTA, trading under the AFCFTA launched on January 1 of this year. So whether the question should not be, there was a lot of skepticism. Would Africa pull it off? And I've been invited by, media and journalists asking me, Toyin, like analogy, is this going to be a game changer for Africa? Africa has tried so many things in the past. Is this going to be the game changer? Really, can they do this? They don't have to, like, just wait. Just wait. This time, we are going to do this. We are marching forward enough, right? While the rest of the world is, more conservative, Africa is pushing along. And when you think about, like, a lot of the leaders that we engage with, like the African Export Import Bank, boy, I I enjoy engaging with them because world-class organization. But I won't say too much on that. Also, 3 weeks ago, Ambassador Muchanga also gave us an update on basically COVID-19, how it has devastated the continent, what the leaders are doing to for economic recovery, how they are partnering, how they are mobilizing the private sector. So work is ongoing. I think this idea that nothing is happening on the continent is false, right? Leaders are there, they're moving, they're marching forward. I think what the rest of the world needs to do is ask itself, do we want to be a part of Africa's future? Do we want to support it? Do we want to sell? Do we want to buy? Like, do we want to help? Like, the help is not the, charity help. Do you want to help yourself? Anyway, okay, I'm trying to be. Anyway, so I'm going to play that now. I encourage you, do reach out. There's so much going on our side. And I want to use this platform as well to kind of keep people up to date because we're moving really fast. And I recognize that every single day things are shifting for us in the right direction. And those that we're trying to carry along that journey, you're always a day behind or a week behind. So this Ask TOYIN series for me as well, I just want to help people catch up. You missed out on the Trade with Africa Business Summit. That was an opportunity for you to immerse yourself, listen to experts. I had over 20 speakers. The videos are available on this platform, Nazaru.trade. So go check it out. But when I do events, the reason I do events is like a one punch. Like, it's a punch because so many questions come into us and we filter so many questions. And my way of really tackling those questions is to bring the leading experts together on behalf of the community. That's what I do. So now we're also going after retail in Africa because we've seen a lot of questions come out, be it with the clients that we support. A lot of stakeholders are like, who is leading in digital payments? Is it e-commerce? How do I sell? Who are the major distributors in Ghana? How do I export to Nigeria? All of those questions get filtered into us. And I'm happy to be bringing, because we do have this network of key stakeholders at the leading front. We get to work with them privately. But when I do events, just so everybody knows, the reason I do it is a punch. It's a way of accomplishing a whole lot in one punch. And we do the work of bringing those stakeholders together, and you get to attend and sit down and enjoy and connect and explore. So always prioritize that. Always prioritize knowledge sharing and immersive experiences. There are so many other things we have in the pipeline, but we share it as time goes on. So I thank you all. This is again Ask TOYIN series. This week I'm going to go live every single day. Yes, because we have. In fact, let me read tomorrow's question. Because and then also, if you want me to address any of your questions, yes, head over to my website, www.toyinumeseries.com, and at the very top, you see Ask TOYIN. Click on the button, and then you get to submit your question. And you never know, right? So tomorrow's question that I would address is from Diana from Tanzania. And this question is dear to my heart in the sense that she said, how did you make it as a woman? So I'm going to sleep over this and come up with an answer tomorrow. She said, how did you make it as a woman? Do you face challenges? How do you overcome them? For some, I actually lead the 360 Woman Ministry. I have a ministry, you know, a faith-based ministry, but it's quite private. I have private conversations every week with a bunch of women. So what I found on Clubhouse is that a lot of questions on Clubhouse has been leaning towards is like, Toyin, this is not even about what you do for your day job. We just want to know you. Like, what drives you? Why are you like this? Why are you optimistic? Like, how do you see the world? All of that. So tomorrow I'll sleep over this and then dive into this question tomorrow. But guess what? I think the way I'll end this is, one thing that I always share is that how we see ourselves, how I see myself, how I see other people, and how I see the world, right? How you see the world always drives what you do. So again, how I see myself, my skill set, my confidence level, my perception of the value I bring into the world. Okay. How I see other people, the goodness of other people, right? The positivity I see in other people, right? The opportunities I see in other people, the way I want to serve other people with my skills and talent as a business, right? And the way I see this world, be it in context of Africa or me as an immigrant, African American or Nigerian American, whatever you call it, I'm a citizen here, okay? That all embodies how I show up. And that's something I also encourage people to really be clear about. Like, because if you have challenges in terms of understanding your skills, your talents, your potential, if you're skilled in how you see other people and how you see the world, it's going to impact how you show up every day. So anyway, those are practices and principles that gets to drive how I show up. and how I'm building my business and how I support other people and provide services and all of that. So anyway, look out for that tomorrow. I'll be diving into being a woman leading. I just noted. It's too funny, but anyway, those are things I try to keep. People who know me one on one, they know who I am. But I guess now that we're out here in the world, doing our thing, those questions are coming up more and more, particularly on Clubhouse. You need to go check me out on Clubhouse. It's been quite fun accessing that platform as well. So that's it. Let me see. Any lasting question? Glenn Simpson, thank you for joining. Yes, I look forward to your email. I think you said you were sending something from South Africa. Okay, good to see you, Mr. Glenn. That's it. So I'm going to play a video of Champion of Trade Award 2019 Ambassador Albert Muchanga, who is the current Commissioner for Economic Development for the continent at the African Union Trade, Industry and Mining. And it was such an honor for us to recognize his incredible work and his team at the AU for implementing and driving the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So yay! Watch this and see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Ambassador Muchanga. A round of applause for the gentleman.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you all for listening attentively. I'll hand over back to our wonderful host, Toyin.
Wow. What was that? Wasn't that out of this world? I am blown away. For those of us that look across the continent, for leaders we can follow, for leaders that we can be a part of, for leaders that we can commit ourselves to, sir, we found you to be one.
Thank you.
And on behalf of my generation that believe in the future of Africa, we honor you, and as a symbol of that honor, we want to award you as the Champion of Trade for your fortitude, for your tenacity, for your rigor, and above all, for putting the greater good ahead and fighting for the greater good. And for that, sir, we honor you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So what we're going to do, we're going to really do a couple of things. We want some photo op. Please, if you're from African Union, join. You worked hard for this. So African Union team, please join in. We also, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Afri-Exim, please, picture. Consulate, Nigeria. Consulate, South Africa. Shakira, please join. Elected officials, US, please join. Representative elected from Africa. I believe we have elected officials from Africa.
Come closer. Yes.
Deal, Investor of the Year Award winner, please join. You've invested and you've seen everything happening.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I need to join.
Come closer.
I want to join.
You have to join. Don't forget yourself. Thank you.
Hashtag Trade with Africa. Hashtag TWA Summit. At His Excellency, please tag him and put it online. The world is watching. Thank you.